shapes. This one here is a Kachina woman, this spire right here in the middle. And she's facing the west, as the woman represents letting go and surrender, and how important the water element is. And the sun, the west, letting go, the setting sun reminds us to make sure to let go of what has come to completion. And this many lines of history and the layers of sediment just reminds us that things change, and not to be attached to anything, and to be connected to the fact that things change.
Yeah, now you're wearing the blue and white colors that are very much the colors of Dream Shield, the angels that I saw in Italy, the blue and white. And Bradley Quick, who was a human angel, was always wearing sort of blue and white workout clothes. It seemed like that's what he was, because he was a Chargers fan. And he had this crazy wig, with this blue hair. But just paying respects here to Bradley. His memorial is tomorrow, and I can't be there, and it's just wonderful to see you dressed in cool change colors, because you're just saying the change, and Bradley was all about the change and the shift. Yeah.
And the shift is about flexibility. It's about bringing in the sacred heart and being love in all of the ways in which we can, and releasing and letting go of things that aren't needed any longer.
Now, Bradley kind of shocked me last year when my father died and I was his roommate, with the very, congratulations. I'm like,
right.
What? I just lost my father,
And another way to look at it is that this spirit has evolved and transitioned and is now a guardian and a guide in another
finished
dimension.
its earth mission, huh?
Right, but that doesn't mean the soul is by any means finished with its service. And what is beautiful about having a guardian angel that has transitioned, that we have a connection to, is that they still know us. They know all our sensitivities, they know us intimately, and we have that connection. And with their transitioned self, with their transition presence, we can feel and hear and see guidance that doesn't any longer have any distortion that would have maybe come through their human expression. And so now, if there was any density between you and Father, now in his ascended space, he can bring very clear and present guidance and always be there for you, always loving, always present.
He has. It's kind of blown my mind. I thought,
right.
Well, I'm just making this shit up. My dad could never be like this.
Right, your physical father, perhaps not. And that's what's beautiful about having a guardian and an angel.
He was a welder in life, and he built me this ethereal armor, which is like a red, indestructible spiritual armor. So
beautiful that we have the opportunity then to connect with a soul that doesn't have any limitation or distortions that the human does.
Yeah.
Their own pain, their own agenda, their own suffering, their own limitations. And when they transition, I understand the blessing of, congratulations, and what a blessing that is that he's transitioned and transformed and spread his angelic wings, because then now he can bring truth and guidance in a way that is even more pure and true than he could as a human father.
Well, he went, and Bradley went just months later from my father, and so in a way, Bradley was really preparing me for his loss, and because he was really one of the best friends I'll ever have,
and still is in a whole deeper way.
I was comforted by his thing today. He did with me. But what would you say for the people in Los Angeles? There's thousands of them that love him. For Bradley, would you got any thoughts?
Well, I'd imagine that each person that had a connection with Bradley, that he left a gift or a word of wisdom or an insight or a tool in their heart. He left an imprint there, a treasure. And I recommend for each person that has had a connection with Bradley to listen to what that gift is for them, because it might be different for each person. It might be the same for many, that he believed in this. And I love when the wind comes, because it's the presence of angels. So
it kind of blows out my mic, but I love it too.
It's the angel's way of hugging. When the wind comes, It's the opportunity to be caressed by the wings of our loved ones, just in a way in which we can really feel it. So
that was Bradley acknowledging.
There you go, right? So it is, I love you, I hug you, I embrace you. You're not alone.
Yeah.
But I imagine each person had an individual insight or teaching that Bradley brought to them.
He was so selfless. I wrote a story this week about his paying the rent for the entire apartment building, the water bill, I'm sorry, for the entire apartment building that was in foreclosure. The water got shut off because the landlord wasn't paying his water. So he talked to the water department and got them to turn on the water for the whole building. That was thousands of dollars.
Right.
And they told him, you may never get it back.
So sometimes this is the munyai, the love. The munyai is the love that comes in, and the yangkai is the service, the devotional service that we give to another, and the yachai is the wisdom that is gleaned through the process of truth and munyai.
And that was water too, wasn't it?
And
that was water.
Yachai.
It was the Department of Water, but it was water.
And this is just be flexible. Be flexible. And
Yeah.
so we can let go of these rigid ways of, well, I don't do that, and that's not okay. So, well,
That's what I told him when he got off the phone.
Why not give?
This hard-hearted water department guy was just like blown away.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of giving. That's the beauty of love and letting it flow. This is the water element that says, why do I have to covet? Why do I have to hold my material wealth so close? And can I let it go? And
Bradley didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, he came from a wealthy family, so I don't think he was ever afraid of being left high and dry. But, he was a junkie. He was on Skid Row and rose himself up from that. But his family, had a lot of damage from that. And so they put him on a very short financial leash, even though he was like the son of practically a billionaire. But what was really amazing was to see how he would do something like that with his limited resources, and I said to him, even when I was a millionaire, I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Because it was not my responsibility.
Right.
I would have said, well, it's time for me to move.
Well, and
Screw this landlord.
This is the transition that we're making with 2012. Is we're journeying into the heart, and it's a big journey from the head to the heart. It's our longest journey that we'll make. From here, the mind, the restrictions, the structure, what is done, what is not done, down to how do I show love today in a way that'll make a difference.
Yeah,
and that might be a financial gift. It might be a word of inspiration. It might be creating something or giving somebody a ride. It's every day a little different.
He gave without expecting to be repaid, which I guess in the Buddhist philosophy is ultimate.
Right, and that's in most spiritual teachings. That's agape love. That's unconditional love.